join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message. Or you can give a quick thumbs up or down, or even put in emojis by using the green react button. After the teacher has shown you how to do a step, click on the exit full screen button to make the video go back small. Try it now. Okay, that's it for the instructions. We can't wait to see what you create. And remember, you can always come up with your own ideas and add them into your project. If you do want to share your project and your own ideas, you can do that using the purple button at the bottom of the lesson. We often show the best ones at the start of the next class. Okay, today's lesson is going to start in a few minutes, so strap in and get ready to code. Hey everyone, we'll be starting the live lesson shortly, but before we do, let's go over a few instructions on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message. Or you can give a quick thumbs up or down, or even put in emojis by using the green react button. After the teacher has shown you how to do a step, click on the exit full screen button to make the video go back small. Try it now. Okay, that's it for the instructions. We can't wait to see what you create. And remember, you can always come up with your own ideas and add them into your project. If you do want to share your project and your own ideas, you can do that using the purple button at the bottom of the lesson. We often show the best ones at the start of the next class. Okay, today's lesson is going to start in a few minutes, so strap in and get ready to code. Hey everyone, we'll be starting the live lesson shortly, but before we do, let's go over a few instructions on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do something, you should make this video box go into full screen by clicking on the full screen icon here. Try it now and this video should get bigger and cover your whole screen. When the lesson starts, you will see all the steps for the lesson appear here. These are the steps you need to follow to create the project, and the teacher will guide you through each of these step by step. Though if you wish to go ahead and follow them yourself, that's no problem. You will normally be working with two tabs, one tab for the instructions and one tab for creating the code and your project. When you have completed a step, come back to the Instructions tab and click on this green Done button. You get an award and learning points for each step you complete. Under the video box, you will see what step the teacher is currently on. Under that, you will see the chat feed. The chat feed shows you how everyone is doing, and you can put your own entries into it by clicking on the blue chat button and entering your question or message. Or you can give a quick thumbs up or down, or even put in emojis by using the green react button. After the teacher has shown you how to do a step, click on the Exit Full Screen button to make the video go back small. Try it now. Okay, that's it for the instructions. We can't wait to see what you create. And remember, you can always come up with your own ideas and add them into your project. If you do want to share your project and your own ideas, you can do that using the purple button at the bottom of the lesson. We often show the best ones at the start of the next class. Okay, today's lesson is going to start in a few minutes, so strap in and get ready to code. Hey everyone, we'll be starting the live lesson shortly, but before we do, let's go over a few instructions on how live lessons work and how you can join in. First of all, let's talk about the teacher's video box. This is the video box that I'm in and that you're looking at right now. This is where the teacher will share their screen and show you what to do. When the teacher is showing you how to do
Hey everybody, welcome back to our Wednesday live lesson. I see a lot of people on board. I think there's a bit of a delay on my lesson screen. I'm only seeing one or two people in the lesson, but I can see in the chat that there's more than that in the lesson today. You're all very welcome. Today's lesson, we are going to be making our own microbit pets. Hopefully, guys, you all have your own microbits, but if you don't, that's absolutely no problem at all. You can make a virtual microbit pet on your laptop or tablet. I actually don't have a laptop microbit myself. Today I left it in work. I was playing away with my own little virtual pet that I made in advance, and I left it on the desk. So hopefully he survives overnight. Pray for my little pet. But this week's going to be lots of fun. We have a good few people on. My screen just won't upload, but we have to see lots of people in the chat already. How are we today, guys? It's already nice and sunny. There's no live stream chat on the Coding Ireland column. Says, "Good man, column. You're on the ball." The chat feature is missing. You're right. Oh, that's a shame. Right, guys, we're gonna have to work around the chat today. We're gonna have to just go straight to business. I'll share my screen and we can go straight into our lesson today. You will still be able to submit your project at the end. And as always with MakeCode Microbits, you'll be able to share your project even if you don't have an account. So that'll be really cool to be able to kind of see that. So I'm going to share my screen today, guys. And yeah, here we go. So I can still see you guys updating here. I don't know, for whatever reason, the chat function is just missing. I think we were doing some updates on that during the week. Maybe they're not completed, but it will be back up and running hopefully next week. No big deal. Hey, business, welcome to our game today. We're just saying the chat feature today is just malfunctioning a little bit. I'm gonna have to look at the code when we finish this lesson up. But today, guys, we're gonna be making a microbit pet. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or if you guys have heard of this, but the idea of this lesson comes from a game that used to be, I don't know about a game, a device that used to be around when I was a child in school. And everyone used to have these things. They were called Tamagotchis. They were this little device. They looked like this. They kind of like a key ring kind of thing. And the idea was so simple. Like it was just like an egg with a screen. And it had 3 buttons on it. And the idea was inside this little device, this would be way less powerful than the microbit. Your microbit can do everything and more than this thing can do. But the idea is that this guy he'd need to be fed. He'd need to be watered. You'd need to like put him to sleep. You'd need to play games with him and stuff like that. And you ended up putting in loads of hours into it. And for no reason, or else it would die, which is, a lot of pressure for it to be putting on a child. So today we're going to make a microbit version of this. Now yours can be, you'll have a lot of room to kind of design your own microbit or Tamagotchi, sorry. Design your own Tamagotchi today. I'm sure if you wanted to, you could look up the features of a Tamagotchi and you could code that into your microbit. You could code that element into your microbit pet. but I feel like I'll be putting a lot of pressure on you guys. So just to read our introduction here, we'll program it to react to different actions, such as becoming sad when you shake the microbit or giggling when it's tickled. You'll also create functions for it to express hunger, boredom, and happiness. And finally, we'll test this code in the simulator and download it onto your microbit. So if you do have a microbit, you'll be able to download this onto your physical microbit. And if you don't have your microbit, don't worry. You can keep it saved on your laptop or tablet until your microbit does arrive. We do have a few new faces today, so just in case anyone doesn't know how it works, I know everyone else is sick of me hearing me say this. I'm going to go through the steps. I'll demonstrate each step as we go along. My big ask is that when you finish a step, click done. It's the only way for me to keep track of who's on what step and when I can move forward, especially now that our chat feature is out of bounds today. So if you wouldn't mind clicking done on the steps that you finished, that would be super duper. But just to read the instruction, to make our microbits into pets, we need to use different emoji icons and sounds to make them seem lifelike. So we're going to program a bit of life into our microbit. So our pets will start off happy when we're going to program the following. So this is like the default. Like everyone will have these bits of code in it. They'll be sad when we shake them. They will giggle when we tickle them. So that's touch the logo on the front. I actually only found out about this recently, that microbit logo up the top of the microbit is actually a button. They'll go asleep when we flick the microbit so it faces down. And after a random amount of time, they will get hungry and ask for food. And after a random amount of time, they will get bored and ask you to play. So just like a real Tamagotchi, it's a lot of work. It's like training you for your own pet or your own, child here. So because the chat feature is out of action today, guys, if you wouldn't mind just clicking done on that first step, I'll get a little notification here and your name emoji will be added up to the top of the screen here. So if you wouldn't mind just clicking done on that step, you can see your reward. You should still be able to get your rewards. Fruit and vegetable series, I got a melon slice. I'll take a melon slice. Not the worst fruit or veg to get. I'm sure there's a lot worse out there. But if you wouldn't mind just clicking done on that first step when you get to it, just let me know who has done what steps, who's doing what. And we can move on from there if that sounds good to you guys. So I have 1 or 2 or 3 people who've done that step, waiting on a few more just to catch up. And really unfortunate about that, the chat being out of action today. What we will be able to do at the end of the lesson, and I know it's not as good, but we will still be able to submit our work at the end. I will give a demonstration of that when we get to it. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I'm not speaking to myself. I don't have myself muted or anything like that. Master Column is definitely on board anyway. Okay. So I'm going to move on, guys. Step 1 of this project, of course, is just to open up your MakeCode Microbit project. So as always, you can open a new tab and search it up there, or you can just click on this link that we have on Coding Ireland. It'll open up a separate screen. Here's the Bop It lesson we did a few weeks ago. I'm going to start a new project, and I'm going to call it Microbit Pet, just because I will forget what project this is. If you want to, you can give your pet a name. You can give it like a dash. You can call it whatever you want. It's like a little monster, so it's not necessarily a dog, cat, anything like that. So I'm going to call mine Scratchy, if I can spell it properly. Scratchy. You can call your guy whatever you want. Mine's going to be called Scratchy. And I'll get into my MakeCode Microbit page. Now, if you are new to Coding Ireland, if this is your first time going, just to give you a quick refresher of what MakeCode Microbit is, and even if you have used it before, it's good to do a refresher. This is our virtual microbit over the left-hand side. So anything we program is going to be demonstrated over the left-hand side of the screen. So there's buttons down the bottom. You don't need to worry too much about the buttons on the bottom. Every time you put in a new piece of code, it will automatically update that. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have the blocks, and they are pieces of code. There are instructions. So every time we want to put in a piece, we can add it to any here. I'm just demonstrating this. This isn't part of our project. For example, this is on start. We will do a circle. And when our virtual microbit starts up, it'll also show the circle. So that's how we're programming in the steps. Each of your code is split up into different sections. There's the basic ones. There's the input, which means when something happens, what happens. So like if you press the buttons, that'll probably come up later on. There is music. People get sidetracked on that for a long time if we go into it. But I'll just say there is music. LEDs, we won't use that a whole lot. Loops are important. That's that section if we want it to repeat any amount of time. That's what we got to do. Logic's very important. That's if something happens, then what happens. So if I heard someone use the example the other week of like, if you don't clean your room, then you get grounded. But more for our microbit is, if you click button A, then it will make a noise or something like that. And then there's the if true, then else. That's going to be important later on. We have variables, which I'm sure we'll have later on, and we have maths. And then there is extension ones we don't need to add in now. We won't need any of those. And just a really cool part of MakeCode Microbit, we're not going to go into it today, but I thought I would just mention it. Did you know that obviously we're all using blocks for our coding at the minute, which is great because it's a great way to start off. But if you wanted to get to the next level, you could also have a look at JavaScript or Python. Now, Python, I think, is a little bit easier than JavaScript. But essentially, when you switch over that, it shows you like the typing text version of the code. So that'll be really cool. Some of you guys, I bet you'll be able to do that already. But to be nice to myself, I'm going to go back to the blocks because I think it's a lot easier to look at. It's a lot easier to work with. I prefer it. So just hop back over to my Coding Ireland page, and I'm just going to click done on that step. I'm going to see my award. I get a weather. I get a cloud. How nice. And if you guys, when you do that step, when you open your new project and you give it a name, could you click done on that? Well done, guys. Thanks for doing that along with me. I appreciate that. Make sure my steps keep getting shown. I hope you guys can see the instructions. You should be able to. I'll just double check that you can. I know that's kind of awkward. If there is anything emergency-wise that you need to contact me with, maybe you didn't get the. If you didn't get the, here we go, Andre and Zeno Juno. I didn't think you could see it. I have to make sure I keep clicking that show steps. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, your code wasn't popping up there. Look, if it doesn't pop up, at least you can watch my video, and then you can follow along. So our first thing, guys, is we are going to create the happy function. I need to actually move kind of fast for this because there's a lot in this lesson. So the first thing is that we want to create the happy function. This is basically we want the microbit to be happy. There will be a few times when we need to run some code to make the microbit pet appear happy. Rather than repeat this code block over and over and over, we're just going to make a happy function with the code blocks and then call that the happy function whenever we want to run those code blocks. So instead of like when it's happy, we want it to do a smiley face and it's going to make a sound. So instead of just like using show icon, play sound, show icon, play sound, show icon, play sound, we're just going to create a function called happy. And this means that every time, instead of writing these two pieces of code, we can just say call happy, and that'll spring in. It'll immediately like grab that and say, oh yeah, that's what happy is. So we need to create a function. And if you need help on how to create a function, they're just down in, actually they're on the extension. Funny, wouldn't you have it? I only mentioned it. Well, not the extension, the advanced. So this is for real coders. We have the function section. So I click into function, make a function. And our function this time, it gives you loads of instructions here. Just to check up on here, we make sure we're not doing anything wrong. We're going to make a function, and simple as that. We're going to go in here. We're just going to start typing. We're going to call it happy. Make sure you're very precise. If you use a capital letter, use a capital letter the whole time. But function happy. So now we've got that step in. That's pretty cool. And we need to say what happens when our microbit is happy. Okay. So what do you think would happen? When our microbit is happy, it's going to show, I don't know, do we have the happy face icon here? We do. We're going to show the icon happy face. And do you know what? We're going to use some music. So what music do we do here? We played a sound happy. So if I go back into here, look at sounds. Can I find? So we have a little giggle here. And you guys can play around with this. Find something that suits your microbit. So here's a happy sound. What's it sound like? I definitely don't want it looping. I have to wait to hear it. Mine's not playing out loud now because I haven't told them to be happy yet. And our next step is on start, we want it to be happy. So on start, when we go down to that functions place and we say call happy, which means like bring happy to the microbit. Press play. I don't know if you guys can hear my screen there, but he played a very happy song. I'm just going to restart it. And there's a, it's kind of a happy song. I'm going to try giggle just to see what that sounds like. Oh, I like giggle. I'm going to keep giggle. You can do whatever you want. You can program that whatever way you want. But just make sure, guys, because obviously the chat feed out of action today, click done on that step. Unidentified. What am I cutting around? It says, but sure. Make sure you click on that step now. Well done, Master Column, who is flying through. Well done, Milan, who's always flying through. The two of you guys are like racing towards the end. I'll take your time. We've got the hour. So that's functions, guys. Functions are a little bit like variables, except they just save us a lot of typing. They just speed things up. It means we don't have to keep repeating ourselves a lot of time. So we're going to create a few functions this time around. No, hard to know who's where. Okay, I think everyone, maybe one person I'm waiting on just to click done there. Everyone just double check that you have. And I'll just double check the chat. Yeah, when I reload the feed, actually, it is hiding all my steps. That is interesting. I'll have to report back. Okay, so next step is going to be make it sad. Okay, so this is when we shake our microbit, we want it to make a sad face. He doesn't like being shook. He's very sensitive. Okay, so this is a little bit simpler. We don't need to make a function because there's only one thing that makes it sad, which is if it gets shaken. So we're going to go to the input. My microbit's very happy to see me. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but he was very happy. On shake, we want our microbit to do a sad face, which we'll get here. And we want him to play the sad music. Now the sad music can be... Microbit, stop it. Sad music could be whatever. You can flick through them yourselves to find what's it. There is a sad one there. And what's really cool here is your virtual microbit. Even if you're like me and you forgot your microbit somewhere else, your virtual microbit adapts to the code you put in. So because I've added in a shake input, my virtual microbit now also shakes. So you could test that out like that. So if I'm going to do it now, test my code. We're starting off happy, shake, and he gets sad. Okay, that's cool, isn't it? So when you do that, guys, go back into Coding Ireland, click done. Should work for you. That one works for me. And see award, fruit and vegetables, blueberries. A lovely, delicious fruit. So if you guys could do that step for me there, and we will carry on. That's a shame about the chat. I love the chat. Make it sad. People are flying it today. There's actually loads of code we need to put into this. So I actually probably should move faster. So if you do the step, make sure you click done just to move. Make sure that don't let me hang around for nothing. You'll speed me up if you click done. And sometimes I need speeding up. Sometimes I'm very slow. Just check my screen is still sharing. You guys can still see it, hopefully. I was thinking my code could be a little bit neater than it is. It's always nice to keep your code nice and neat. It helps you find bugs quicker if anything goes wrong. So the next step, guys, step 4, flying through this. Step 4 we did. Well, step 5 is to make it giggle. What do I mean by that? So this is when the logo is touched, right? Now, what I mean by that is on the Microbit up the top, you will see they look like eyeballs, like Wall-E. Do you ever see that film Wall-E? It looks like his eyes. So a part of the Microbit is that there's a sensor in there that you can touch. It's like a button, but it's like a touch screen. It's kind of a bit of both. A virtual Microbit, you can see it has the option to click on it, which we will be using for our next step. So our Microbit pet is going to very much enjoy. Oh, he uses giggle for this. I'm going to have to change giggle for this one. I'm going to have to make the first one happy. Our virtual Microbit is going to very much enjoy getting tickles, and he is going to, when the logo is touched, he's going to laugh, and he is going to play sound to giggle. And then call happy, so he gets happier. Remember, we did this step earlier. So this is just going to take a lump. This, you only need to add this bit of code. You do not need to add that because you've already coded it. What we need to say is input on logo pressed. So this is on the, it's a little bit further down because I think it's only the new versions of the Microbit. There was an older version of the Microbit that wasn't interactive like that. On logo pressed, we want to do an input. And I'm going to find a really happy face. If I can find one. I can't actually find, I'm going to have to design one myself. So I can get rid of that. I'm going to draw it myself in the LEDs. So I can get the LED box. Draw a face, and let's say it's going to be 2 eyes up here and a big, big smiley face down here. That looks like a smiley face, doesn't it? What do we do in here? He did like a one line there. You can design whatever kind of face you want. I think this looks like a smiley face, but the one in the Coding Ireland, that looks pretty good too. So I wouldn't be mad at you if you did that one. And then we want him to play sound, giggle, which is down here. Play giggle until done. And then, importantly, we want it to go back to function, call happy. By calling happy, we will reset the Microbit back to how it started off. So let's just test that out. Starting off happy. If you shake him, he gets sad. But then if we click that, very happy pet. And then back to smiley face. Okay? So we've gone through a good few things there. You've got your own pet loving life at the minute. All going well. So make sure you click done there. Guys, this is a really kind of complicated project. So if you're doing this, well done. There's a lot of steps to it. Especially that function thing. That's pretty advanced. So if you're doing that, you're working at a very high level. Should make sure I have the steps shown for everybody. I don't want anyone to be left behind. The next step is going to be pretty long. So we'll take our time here for the time being. Make sure we got that right. Well done, Real Gamer. Keeping up the good work. I'm missing one. Who's this person here? Milan. Oh, he's clicked done. He has clicked done. Real Gamer, master column. I do not see a business on step 5. Business, will you make sure you click that? Right, guys. We're going to go on to the next step then. Look at how much code we've add here. Good chunk. So let's go through it. Dr. Sigma, oh my God, Dr. Sigma only clicking done on step 1 now. Oh my goodness gracious. Don't worry, Dr. Sigma, I gotcha. So well done, Zimo Juno on step 5. Right. We need to keep moving. There's loads of stuff we need to add into this lesson. It's really long. So then it's time to create a function to make the microbit pet hungry after a random amount of time and has to be fed. If anyone hears a dog or a cat, they'll know that pets exist for one reason and one reason only, and that's to drive you really crazy by asking for food. So our microbit pet is no different to that. We are going to create a function called feed me with a number input called milliseconds. Okay. Now that sounds complicated, but we've got a nice little video here to help us there. So it's called feed me, and then you click number, and it's called milliseconds. Now that's a little bit of work in that. So even just that first step is worth watching my screen for. So we're going into functions. We're creating a new function in Make a Functions, down into the advanced section, which we're very advanced today. We are calling the function feed me. We're clicking on number, which adds in a second box, and you type milliseconds. Now, that looks wrong to me. Why does it look wrong to me? Seconds. Do you ever get that when you type something and it just looks completely wrong to you? Milliseconds. I'm going crazy. I think it's the same, but I might be losing my mind. Anyway, then you click done, and that creates this function here. So you get the function feed me, and then in red, the milliseconds. Okay. So our next step is a lot. So, okay. In this section, we need to add a lot. Okay. So maybe it's worth watching my screen for this. First of all, we need to put this call feed me into your on start command. So that one we did at the very start. We said call happy first of all. Now we need to go into that functions and put in underneath call feed me, and then because we are kind of making up, like it's not going to be the same. If it was like 5 seconds, we could just put 5 or 5,000. Because we are going to be doing it randomly, we need to go into the math section and get a random. So pick random and add that in there. Now to pick random, because we're in milliseconds, it's not going to be like 1 to 5. We're going to add it like in the thousands, because there's 1,000 milliseconds in the second. So 1,000 to, I'm going to do 30,000 because I don't, and 10,000 to 30 seconds. 30,000 because I don't want to spend my whole day feeding this microbit. Otherwise, every like 2-3 seconds it'll be asking for food. That's like having a real pet. So I'm going to just say pick random from 10,000 milliseconds to 30,000. So sometimes like that'll be 10 seconds to 30 seconds. So I'll get a little bit of time to play with him before he starts asking for food. But he is a very hungry boy, and he does want his food. So we do need to add it in. We do need to add in that hungry from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Well done, Bees. Sorry, I know there was an error with the instructions. You weren't able to see them there. I have to kind of click show list steps for every person that comes in. It's not a big deal. So what we need to do now, we need to tell the listener, tell the microbit what feed me means. What does the function feed me do? What does it mean? And we need to add in this middle section here, which is function feed me, pause, millisecond, show LEDs, play sounds, pause. So there's a good bit in it. I'm going to just go break it down one piece at a time. And if you guys are happy enough to move on with it at your own pace, you can do that. If you don't need to watch my example, but if you do want my example, watch me now. So I'm going into this second piece here that was created automatically for me for my function. And what it's going to do, I'm going to pause for the start of it, which is in the blue section. Pause. And again, that's in milliseconds. And we need to kind of get our variable there, which is in milliseconds. Which, did we make a separate one? Did we make a second function? You can call feed me there. That's the first step. Yeah, it's not going to show me. Do I need to make a... I don't think so. Use a pause for 100 milliseconds. These milliseconds as like a variable in our example. I think what we could do is this. We could drag it out and put it there. So you can grab that milliseconds from the function, from the big blue box, and drag it into your pause. This is basically saying like it waits for a few seconds. And then it shows the LEDs of a big hungry face. Now, your hungry face can look whatever way you want. I am very much not an artist. So my one is going to copy the one from Coding Ireland. Big open mouth. He's hungry. He's going to play a sound, which is going to be... Let's have a look at them. Which one suits hunger? Play... Do any of them play? Maybe yawn or soaring. What's that one sound like? I hate the way it doesn't give you like a demonstration. We're going to start soaring and see how that goes. Then we're going to go pause for just a few seconds. So maybe 1 second. And then, because your microbit pet is very clever, he's going to show a string, which means show the writing. Feed me. So he's got to say, feed me. He'll tell you what to do, don't worry. And then at the end, we want to show an arrow. That'll basically tell us where to look. So we're going to go here, down the bottom of that basic section is show arrow. And we're going to put the arrow going east. Now, the reason we're going to do that, I'd say you would know, is that east is going to feed the pet. So a lot of code in there, a lot to keep up with. We definitely need that at the start, call feed me, and we definitely need all of this stuff. But the sound and the LED lights, you can kind of put your own spin on. So when you've done that, have a play with your virtual microbit. See if you can make them sad, make them happy, tickle them. Back to normal. And if we wait a few seconds, because it's random, I can't make it happen straight away. But eventually he's going to get hungry. You just have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, he's very good. My guy's not getting very hungry. Oh, here we go. He's not happy. He's not happy, guys. He's very much not happy. He's playing that song. He's waiting 1 second, and then he's saying, feed me. And just right now, there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing I can do to make him less hungry, which is going to be our next step, I hope. So I'm going to go into my coding Ireland. That's a huge step, guys. If you did that, great work. Make sure you click done on that step, because that is a lot of code to be adding. This is a cool project, though. If I had this when I was in school, I'd have rocked in and everyone would have been playing with their Tamagotchis, and I'd be like, oh no, I just made my own Tamagotchi. You guys are still playing with your ones and buying them in the shop. I just buy my own. Master column. Oh, follow the instructions to see. Okay, master column. I wonder, did you do? I know you can't tell me. I hope you've done the extension. Master column, not your best score in the test, I have to say. Now, master column, this is a suggested one, a new trick. That's only a suggestion. You can still add to it. And I think what would be cool is if you programmed games inside of your microbit. Now, that's up to your own kind of imagination in terms of your pet. When you're playing with your pet, you can kind of do all these things and make it, happy. Can you add in a game to your microbit? I don't know. To your microbit pet, because the Tamagotchi, I know they've got like a much like, it's still not a very detailed screen, but their screen has a lot more room for playing around than ours does. Yeah, and they can play games and stuff where we can't. Really, their screen is their big changer, though. That's the only real difference about ours and theirs. Otherwise, we could do everything that they can do. So if you can go ahead, Master Column, you can look up you can try and incorporate games into your Microbit pet. Little bit of work to do it, unfortunately, but if anyone can do it, it's people in this chat, the coders. I'm going to give people who are on step 6 just 1 or 2 more minutes because I know there is a lot of code in that. I don't want anyone to feel under pressure to finish. Master Column, I'll just have a quick look at your pet because I always kind of tell people I'm going to look at them and then I forget. Looks like a lot of code going on here. Yeah, it looks very good. I'm hearing a lot of simulation noises. And shake him. I like your happy face. Oh, hungry face. And I hope you downloaded this, Master Column. I hope you downloaded your Microbit. Feed me. Oh, we have to wait. It says the whole thing. Oh, yours always doesn't show the arrow. Oh, he does. Yeah, he's happy again. Master Column, excelente. John, I'm not seeing though. I'm not seeing the extension. You need to do the extension. That's where you learn. That's where you'll get better. All right, guys, I'm going to keep going because I think a lot of people anyway, have finished that step 6. If you haven't, there's no panic on you. Take your time to do it. I'll just click show steps, make sure everyone can see them. And again, there is a lot in that step to do, so don't worry if you are taking a few more minutes to do it. You can pause my video or you can mute my video if I'm bothering you or if I'm slowing you down. If you pause it, then especially with the chat function out of action today, you'll be able to just play it whenever you're on step 7. So pause my video if you want, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, now for step 7, guys. So our pet is hungry. It is asking to be fed. Naturally enough, our next step is going to be to feed our pet. So what we're going to do is we're going to say on button B pressed. So button B is the one we pointed the arrow towards. We'll put input on button B pressed. What do we want to happen? We want to call happy. We want our Microbit to be happy again. So just put that in. That's actually a very small step, actually. Well done, Dr. Sigma. So you're going to be like really annoyed about all the noises coming on. I'm actually going to mute my one because he'll be slowing you guys down if he's annoying you. Happy face. Now we've got to wait until I get a hungry Microbit. Well done, Master Column. And when I do that, it'll remember this happy function from earlier on. And that's all step 7 is. It's only 2 pieces of code. Super easy. Well done, everyone who's still going on step 6. You're doing great work. Feed the pet. Well done, Dr. Sigma. Well done, Real Gamer. You guys are like very in sync with each other. I'm going to give you like 1 more minute before we go on to the next step, which is the playing function. We're going to play with our Microbits. It's not just a pet to look at. So you got to play with your pets. Otherwise they get bored and they get sad. So you got to play with your pets. Microbit or real life. You make sure you play with your pets. And I'll just give people 1 second to catch up because I know there's a lot of people who are still maybe on step 6. Who are wrapping up, who are maybe, even if you have problems and it's not working out for you guys, when you submit your projects at the end, like Master Column did earlier on, I'll be able to have a look at your code and check if it looks good. So I'll be able to see if there's errors in your code by looking at your code at the end. So even if you are having issues on, like, let's say step 6, You can still submit your project to me and I'll have a look and I'll hopefully be able to spot any issues. You can even put a title on it saying, Kieran, have a look at this. It's not working. That'll give me a clue. But make sure you click done on step 7, guys. Right. Guys, I'm going to skip ahead to step 8, which is create the play function. So for this section, we are going to make our microbit pet bored after a random amount of time. And after that random amount of time, he says, let's play. Well done, Zimo Juno. I'm going to have a look at that in a minute when I'm finished this step. Well done, Milan. Came up with a very nice name. Good. I hope that's not the name of your pet. It would take a long time to shout. Imagine you got lost in the park and you had to run around shouting his name after him. So we're going to create a new function again. So lots of functions in this lesson. This function is going to be called play with a number input called milliseconds. So same as the first time around. So same as the first time around, we're going to create a function and then we're going to add that second section. So if you want to watch my screen, keep pressing show steps so people who finished the lesson can see. I'm going to go into functions, make a function. I'm going to call this function, what do we call it here? Play. Title of the function is play. And we want a number box here and we're going to call it, let me just double check. Oh, Milan is killing it with the milliseconds. And done. So now we've got an extra function again. So loads of functions in this lesson. My coding screen is starting to build up with lots and lots of code. But hopefully you guys can still see it. So once we have that set up, once we have the function ready to go, well done, Milan, of the quiz. We're going to say pause for milliseconds. So that again, remember, is basic. You pull out the pause. And to get the milliseconds, I actually was confused with this. You grab the milliseconds from the function part. And if you pull it down, it kind of duplicates itself. So you pull it apart and it'll create a new section. And when it's bored, we want it to have a bored face. Now, this is kind of tricky to show in so few lights. I'm going to try this face. I don't know if it's going to work, though. You can try to come up with a better board face than this. This guy's going to be like, I don't know how you would recreate this face. So maybe he's like, close his eyes and he's like, oh, it doesn't even look like a face. Something that looks like a board face. I think I'm going to copy our one exactly. It's kind of hard. Oh, Milan has got the chat. Milan is... What a discovery. I tell you what, some people are ready to go. Oh, Milan is buzzing. If you refresh your page, guys, you should have the chat back in action. That's cool. There you go. Well, there you go. It's a real game where you should be able to add in a bit of chat now. Reset the day. Milan, you're acting like you rediscovered America or something. Rediscovered America. Discovered America. Chat. Right, lads, let's get back to business. I'm really stuck as a minute because I have no chat. Oh, Suzumo Juno, sorry, I'll get you now after this step, okay? I'm going to do a board face like this, which I think is supposed to be like this face, like, is what I think, but I will, you can kind of come up with your own. Go. This is he. I'm going to give you a 1 second delay and show string let's play. It's very similar to actually the hungry one. Instead of saying feed me, we're going to say let's play. And he's going to show an arrow going west, going to the other direction, towards arrow A. And if you know your north, south, east, and west, if your teacher did that, you can do never eat shredded wheat. Did you ever hear that one? But when you do that step, you can do this. So we'll call that function back in a later step after it's had a little sleep. Zimojuno, sorry to delay you there. I like the title of yours, Micropet. That was a better title than my one. Zimojuno, you have not submitted your project to me. You have submitted the Coding Ireland page to me. You need to let me just watch my screen for a second, Zimojuno. To share your project in your MakeCode Microbit page, you click on this little button up here next to the house. Click on that. Sorry. Click Share Project. And then you copy this. Now, when you copy this, you will be able to paste it either into the chat straight away or you can submit it down the bottom. So it won't work unless you paste in this one from your MakeCode Microbit page. So now I've got a function in here, guys. Actually, I didn't click done. Type it in manually would take very long. You can right click Zimojuno, which is when you click the bottom right hand side of your mouse pad, and on the option here there should be paste. Or your second option is you start typing in the chat, and if you click Control, which on your keyboard might say CTRL, you hold that down, and then you click the letter V. Then it pastes as well. So you have two options. The first is to click here, to click on the bottom right-hand side of your mouse pad, and it'll say paste. And your second option is Control V. So you looks like you got it there. Well done. So what is our issue? Okay, right. You've got some stuff going on here. Looks like we're missing some code. Zimojuno. So we're missing a few steps. Now I would advise you to have a look back towards the start. Because you've got right at the start happy. You have this step here, happy. But you haven't told me what happy means. If you look at step 3, Zimojuno, you need to tell me what happens at function happy. So function happy, you need to show icon smiley face, and you need to play sound happy. So that's what you need to do for each of these functions, okay? You can't just put in the function part. You need to put it in for each one. So I can see you have happy here. I see. So you have that in start. You can just move those guys over to function happy. And then you can have a look at step 6. Follow the steps really carefully, okay? I'm going to have a look back on you in a few minutes. Just have a look through each of the codes again, each of the instructions in Coding Ireland. Double check it. Does yours match it exactly? So I'm seeing some differences, and I think that's where your errors are coming up. So just have a look back through that. See if you can figure out some yourself, and then if you're still having issues, I'll be able to help you. So guys, we're going to come back to this, the board one. Right now, we're just going to make it go to sleep. We're going to send our Microbit pet to bed. Our Micropet. I think I like that. I like that title. We're going to send our Micropet to bed. So this means when we turn the Microbit over, it's going to go to sleep. Business. You type your question in the chat there. So the input on step 9, guys, is on screen down. So on input, it's scroll down a little bit. It should be, I'll just double check it is in this one. Yeah. So on screen down. So it's actually the one that says on shake. One of the options, if you click into that, is screen down. So you should be able to find that there. Bees, will you give me a shout and tell me what you're stuck on so I can get back to you with how to correct it? Okay, so what on screen down, and this is maybe we're coding something you're not going to see here unless you have like a glass table, then you might be able to look through. We want our Microbit to close its eyes. So we're going to create a closed eye kind of face. So let's see what a closed eye face looks like to me. And closed mouth. So closed, that looks pretty good. He's going to close his eyes. He's going to go to sleep. So the first thing he needs to close. We're going to play a sound called yawn. So back down to our sound. Play yawn. And we're going to pause for a second. So pause for 1 second. Wait 1 second. And then it's going to call happy. So it's going to wake up again. So it's a quick snooze. It's a power nap. So go down to functions and call happy. Because as we all know, we're all much happier after a little snooze, after a little nap. And then we're going to say call play. So after it wakes up from a nap, it's going to be happy. And then it's going to call play. But it's not just going to call play straight away. We're going to tell it to wait and randomly pick call play. It's the same way we did for the hungry thing. Go into our maths. Pick random, let's say 10,000 seconds to 30,000 seconds. So then at some point after the nap, it's going to want to play. We still haven't told it. How can I put it face down, I wonder? Can I put it face down on this? Not sure if I can. Oh, it's hungry. That's a really loud. Chat, can you hear that? The audio from my laptop through this laptop. I'm not sure if you can. And that's actually, this is the only bit of new code here that we've added in. So we can actually click done if you've done that. And then we're nearly there. You can. Okay, that's good. That hungry noise is really loud. It's really off-putting. Thanks, Real Gamer. Oh my goodness gracious, my spelling. Chat is back. Mate, remember guys, check out your badges, your gifts, your little awards. Guys, can you I'm just looking back through steps. Is there people stuck on a step in particular? Well done, Real Gamer, there for step 9. Is there a step in particular people are stuck on? Or are we okay? Step 6, Imogenuno. All right, Imogenuno, I'm going to have a look back at yours again. See how much further on you are. Oh, that was the first time you posted. There you go. Oh, Zimoji, I think you need to resend in your project code, or else it doesn't update. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, it should update for me. I should be able to see how it looks now. Guys, the last step is pretty easy. It's just to tell the microbit that we played with. So at the end of the play code, we've said point and arrow west, which is at the A button. So the last step, really simply, is just when the A button is pressed, we want it to be happy. So go to function and call happy. And that's essentially the end of your project. We have a few minutes. I know that actually took loads of time. Even without the chat, that took a long time. So if you have done that, amazing work. Well done. Zimojuno, let me have a look at yours. Let me see the status report. Okay, you've definitely done some changes here. All right. Nice. That looks very good. Your function feed me. Okay, so you are on step 6. Let me check you out here. So this function 6. Okay. I wonder. Let me just check you how it here. So on function 6. Sorry, got to mute yours. Can I mute it? I'm not sure if I can mute you. On this function, you need to say, and you're missing a few pieces here. So have a look and compare. So is the pause one here, is it? Or is it the start? So on start. Oh, okay, so copy. Right. I'm with you. You've got 2 functions, okay, called feed me. You've made 2. One of them's in all caps and one of them's not in all caps. The one in not capital letters, the one in lowercase, is the one you want to use because you have the milliseconds on that. So get rid of that on start call happy, call feed me. You're shouting it. Get rid of that and replace that with call feed me, the one in lowercase, because that has your milliseconds there. Okay. Then you can put in the random. So you need to maybe delete the function with all caps if you can. Bees is hard to look. Yours glitched. Bees is where you can always rewind the video. You can always go back in the video if you're having issues. So it's not that big a deal. It says it already exists. Bees is watch, or Zimojuno, watch my screen exactly. Okay. The issue is you have got call feed me, and it's in all capital letters, right? You've created 2 functions. You've created one here called feed me in all capital letters, and you've created one here called feed me in lowercase letters. When you go to your functions down here, you should have 2 options. So can I zoom in? You should have 2 options. One should be call feed me. One should be call feed me all caps. If you pull out the call feed me with lowercase, it should have like a space like this with the number on it. When you put that into when you put that in, I don't know where my start one is. When you put it in like so, what I have done, you should be able to click. Saying you don't. I'm going to edit your code. Let's see. When I edit your code, it won't update yours. It'll only update on my screen. So I'm going to get rid of this, okay? Get rid of that call feed me. I'm going to go into my functions, your functions, I should say, and click the other feed me. When you have that, your maths one should slot in, okay? And then you're clicking 10,000s and 30,000s. Now that actually does come back in later on. We're talking about being sleepy. So it's not an easy thing, not an easy step. And you seem to have it there. Well done. War. Don't know if you've slapped your computer or something like that. Guys, well done. If you have finished the lesson, Juno is baffled. If you have finished the lesson, guys, make sure you do click down at the bottom. You get all your steps. Mike the Microbit pet. I like the name. I wonder, does that take inspiration from someone? Oh my goodness gracious. Look at you with your notes and everything. That's deadly. That looks great. And your code, I like your LED for the sleeping Microbit. And your one doesn't look like he likes being tickled. That looks great, Real Gamer. You are indeed a real gamer. Zimo Juno, I am promising you. If I go onto yours code, so this is exactly the code you sent me, and I edit it. I know what I change here is not going to change your code. Okay. I'm going to go into on start, the very first piece you put in. I'm going to get rid of this because you have an extra function you don't need. I'm going to go down to advanced, into function, and then it's this one, the one with the number. Call feed me, and the one with the number. That's the one you want. And then you can paste in the math one, and then it should start coming together. You have to refresh the page. Okay. Sometimes it's like that in Mojuna. Sometimes there is a glitch in the website, and as frustrating as that is, it is what it is. You know, like they can only get so good. After that, you should be okay. I don't think there's anything like it's step 6 is that definitely the hardest step. But once you've done that first step of it, that's the hardest part. So once you've done all that, guys, make sure if you want, do the trick, do the test, do the extension. It's always nice when people do that. Submit your assignment here. We'd love to see it. Do the quiz. I'm sure you'll get it. What happens when you shake the microbit? It becomes sad. What action makes the microbit giggle? Touching the logo. Amazing it. What does the happy function do? What does the happy function do? It displays the happy icon and makes a happy sound. Of course it does. What button do you press to feed the microbit? B, A, B. I am acing this. What happens after microbit sleep has been asleep for 10 seconds? I do not know. It stays asleep until you wake it up. Wah wah. Becomes happy. Real gamer, you and me, in the same boat there. And guys, when you finish, you get 100 XP if you click the Mark Complete lesson. So make sure you click that at the end. Make sure you get your XP all in all. Guys, this lesson is going to stay live after I log off. You'll still be able to look at the instructions. You'll still be able to have your project saved. Like we say with these kind of things, you're more than welcome to stay working on your project after we finish, especially people who are still kind of a few steps backwards. That's no big deal. We apologize for the chat function earlier on. Good to get it sorted at the end. It's nice to have a chat at the end of all of it. Now is your chance to go and show off your microbit to everyone around you. If you're talking to your parents, ask them, did they ever have a Tamagotchi? I know it's kind of a hard word. Tamagotchi. Or did they ever have like a little pocket pet? I suppose is a better way to put it. Like your microbit. Show them your microbit pet. Give it a name. Look after them. They're very delicate little creatures. You have to take care of them. And guys, I will see you on here next week. Zimo Juno has a Tamagotchi. Jenny Mac. I didn't think they were still going. But have a great week, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the nice sunny weather we've been having this week. And enjoy the clocks going back. I hope you're all having a great time. Hope you're all enjoying the start of the summer. Hopefully the sign of things to come. And I'll see you here on next Wednesday for our next live lesson, guys. I think it'll be Scratch, but I would need to double check. And I hope you all have a lovely week. And I will talk to you next week, guys. Take it easy.